Unsleepy one has joined us. Who else is going to bless us tonight? What's going on, family? What's going on? I want to welcome you to this night's Folktales for grown folks. Drink some water while it's going down the music. We got to get the music up. Let's get it out. See what's going on the timeline. All right. We up live. Welcome, family. Yo, this is Brother Tim coming at you live. In most cases, direct, unless you're listening to me in the future. I need to let you know you are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey. Of course, you know, this is Folktales for grown folks, and you know that this is a Heart of a Summer production. Yes, family. But we strive to blow up those old paradigms. All right. On the eve of this super moon, this blood moon, this blue moon, and lunar eclipse, which causes the blood moon, we are on the verge of possibly a major point in all of our lives. This is a once, possibly, well, actually, I think this is a once in every other lifetime event. I said the last time that this happened was over 250 some odd years ago, I think. And I'm thinking, family, I hope that you are planning to use the energy in a good and positive way. If many of you, if you are working around people, you have noticed that the moon is acting up on folks. Folks are acting a fool, and you just don't understand. I'm here to tell you, it's because this moon is full, this moon is closer, this moon is brighter. Okay, oh, the exact same thing in 10 years? Okay, 150 years. And my team is dope. I'm just like, damn. It's like, yo, they come with the facts. So if you're on Gye-Nyame journey, you know what I'm saying, you on the daily toasters, you got to find your mastery. You know what I'm saying? You got to find where you fit in the game, family, because, you know, it is what it is. You know, I'm kind of tired. Nose kind of acting up. I don't see, I got some ambrosia, so I'm going to sip on a little of that. And then we're going to share this story and we're going to have a talk. But, you know, this morning, I kind of went off on this whole suicide piece and these issues that we're being told as a people that are major issues for us. There may not be major issues. It may be because we're being told some things that are not coming from a culturally appropriate angle, which is one of the reasons I put this show on, so that we can start learning to look at the world. Thank you. I'm yawning. In a way that benefits us. We have been programmed to look at the world in a way that our enemies look at the world. And because we're doing that, we will always come up short. We'll always come up not being able to get as much out of the moment as we can, because even our moments are being defined by others outside of ourselves, which means we're not practicing self-mastery as a group or as individuals. We're not practicing mastery as a group or as individuals. And once a group of us start solidifying and start practicing, we will start seeing change. So the story tonight is a very short story. Once again, it revisits our old friend, Brother Fox and Brother Lion, and their interaction, right? So we're going to discuss that. Then I'm going to let y'all go and get some sleep. And then I will see those of you that are daily toasters, I will see in the morning as we salute our ancestors. I'm also going to go out and catch some of that moon in the morning. I'm thinking about, I'm going to start brewing another batch of that ambrosia. You know what I'm saying? So I can make sure that I catch that full energy of that moon. Oh yeah, family, we got to learn how to harness that. We got to learn how to start harnessing stuff, man, because some of this stuff we doing is not necessarily working for us. So we might need to go back to some of the old ways. Right? So I'm brewing ambrosia too. All right. Same here, although my point of view won't be as good as yours. Yeah, it's gonna be nice here. They said early in the morning. Those of us that's in Columbus, those of us that's in like the Midwest, we're gonna be able to catch it. We're gonna be able to catch the supermoon and the blood moon, which is produced by the lunar eclipse. And what this means is that the Earth is going to be blocking a portion of the light from the sun on the moon. You're gonna be able to get it. I'm interested in getting back to your ambrosia. All right, Miss T, how you doing? I'm so used to talk to y'all in the morning. Brewing. I'm gonna have a couple of gallons here. Hit me up, text me, and I'll get you the price. I'm so excited and grateful for the moon. Oh my God, it's gonna be a powerful moment. And one of the things that we have to bring into our community is a celestial calendar, so that we can start keeping up with some of these events. Because now, although we don't, as a community, would, some of us will be able to get together. Because one of the things I want to start doing as we start building up the crowd and my daily toasters, I want to be able to do some shows where we all are here. Because these cameras, I could turn them to the side and back them up and be able to catch everybody. I'm working on getting the blue Sasquatch. I want to get the Sasquatch, the blue Sasquatch mic, so that I can really catch the sound real good. Still use the blue snowball and start plugging in some more stuff, so that we can start doing shows together, live shows. You know what I'm saying? Where we can actually have conversations with people, so y'all can get more points of view and you can see more people being involved with this whole movement, because it's time to start doing stuff. I mean, the stars are telling us, the moon is telling us, everything is going on around us, letting us know it's your time. Every month I usually attend a few night sky viewings. Word. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a powerful piece, man, just to see. And it's kind of humbling. You can on IG. Oh, I can't what on IG. Y'all hear it's real life here. My kids upstairs getting disciplined. My wife ain't playing. Told me to go to bed. And my daughters just want to be her. Too show me how to do that. I don't understand. I don't understand. We see. I can't see everybody that's on. Right. I got the Shaka. Shaka, I want to thank you, man. I see you boosted one. Hope you ain't boosted on my credit card because if so, just letting you know. Time, right? I'm trying to move to a mortgage eventually, but you know how it is right now. Cryptocurrency market is going down. You know, the stock market ain't doing that good. And you know, but it's real life. Growing. I'm blossoming. I'm learning. Right. I'm at a point in my life where
this call is being recorded.
Still able to move. Shouts out to Miss C. Low. Thank you for joining us. I know this is Brother Shaka on the line. Brother Shaka, go and give everybody your piece, my friend.
Well, I'm gonna start off slow because I accidentally, right as I called in, I took a bite out of this burger. Now I ain't eating meat. Don't get me wrong. It's called Beyond Meat.
Yeah.
It's a plant-based burger patty. I heard that this dude that invented it is Michael Simon. You see on the Food Network, and got all of his new shops in Cleveland. Man, Cleveland is coming up. This thing is delicious. I'm gonna get right back with y'all. Go ahead and get it going, man. I'm gonna get into this for a second, and I just want to listen in and be y'all to the tone.
Send shouts out to Miss Deborah Shaw. Thank you for joining. Right, you know what I'm saying? Thank you for joining. Feel free to post up your comments if you want to call in. Once I read the folk tale and join the discussion, don't be shy to share your wisdom because you never know. Will touch somebody else because we all got stuff that we have to share, and that's something that we got to kind of get out of, right? Because the message don't come from one person. One person may be a focal point that might spark stuff in you, but you need to be able to share your stuff, family, because we in a powerful time right now, and a lot of us are reaching out and trying to re-grab our culture, right? Let me get on what Brother Anubis is talking about now. Brother Anubis is also an expert on the cryptocurrency. He said crypto will be back up and hitting it really big moving forward. That's my prediction, especially around March. Neil is doing fantastic. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what he mean about Neil, unless he's talking about a cryptocurrency. But the issue is, those of you that have been dabbling in the cryptocurrency, right? Understand all markets go up and down and they fluctuate, right? Those that are on the journey, those of us that are experimenting with it, we're in it for the long haul, right? Now, we're not in it for some illusionary because we think we're going to get rich quick. You know what I'm saying? This is my kids' money, right? I'm trying to find different ways to grow money. And even the little bit I got, I'm trying to find ways to grow it because we got to start learning how to look at money like our ancestors look at it. It's seeds. Got to figure out ways to plant these seeds and start giving these seeds room to grow. But we got to remember that we are often under attack in this country. And because we're under attack, it makes it hard for us to actually make any lasting changes. So we have to be able to start taking our pennies and start learning how to compound our pennies. We got to start using math to our advantage. All right. So we're under no illusions here on the journey. To the stock market, some of us is doing cryptocurrency, some of us is doing both. Neil is an Ethereum based token. You want to give me because I'm not really. I got some Ethereum, I want you to kind of I'm gonna get Dentista on here. I'm gonna try to get you on the line at the same time so that we can kind of get some coaching on this Ethereum piece, because I understand through Ethereum you can also do smart contracts. And for those people that don't understand what a smart contract is, you really need to look these up, because you can organize without even you can there's whole new tools for organizations so that you can keep a lot of bullshit out, right? Because we got a lot of black folks, man, and this is what a lot of people don't understand. Brother Tim, you've been podcasting for a long time. You've been doing videos every day. You've been doing this, and this is the issue, family. I'm building momentum. Dentista also into coding. Yeah, he in code. He, as a matter of fact, when I told him that Cleve was on Python, he tried to do what you did, what you know what I'm saying, what you was talking about doing. He started sending Cleve books. I don't even know if Cleve looked at the books. Matter of fact, I'm glad you brought that up, because I got to check. You got brothers that have been doing this type of stuff for a very long time that have expertise. And this is the key, family. We come from a culture of people who base their lives on mastery. Now, one of the things we got to understand about mastery is that in order to become a master, you first have to be humble and be willing to learn. And this is something we got to teach our children. Because one of the things I'm noticing working in a school, does he live in Columbus? Because when I get down there, it would be a nice to meet up. He's actually in Cleveland. I'm trying to bring him down for the Malcolm X Festival on May 19th, because I want him to come down and do a capoeira demonstration. Speaking of that, for the Malcolm X celebration, 19th, at the Millennium Community School. Right, family? We are inviting you out. You know what I'm saying? If you out of town, you want to come through. Let's kick it. Let's show up. You know what I'm saying? Bring money for the vendors. Bring money for food. Let's support the young people, because we're going to have a talent show out there. So, I mean, like, yo, we're going to have a real good time. And it's like Family Day. We're celebrating one of our heroes, Brother El Malik El Shabazz, also known to most of us as Malcolm X. All right, now, so let's get into this story. Shaka, Shaka's still eating that burger.
Yes, sir. I'm here. I'm back.
I heard that burger is the bomb, man. You know, I'm not gonna ruin your thing right now. But now the story I got today is real short. It's real short. Of course, it's always pertinent, and of course, we're going to be able to plug it in and straighten it out, because you know, as the great Pumpkin gets ready to do his State of the Union address, you know what I'm saying? I'm quite sure that by tomorrow, people will be commenting on how what I'm going to read today is going to line up. See, this is what I need y'all to understand, right? When we start pouring libations, when we start doing culturally appropriate stuff, what we start to happen is patterns. African people, as people with African origins, right? We were in tune with the cycles of nature. Go outside and talk to squirrels and shit like that. See, because a lot of y'all, I mean, this is what the movies convince us about being one with nature is. You outside, nah. You were in tune with the cycles. That you start noticing different things because you start looking at your world differently. And you start being able to hear, see, feel, and taste things that you never tasted before. And it opens you up to start noticing patterns. And once you start noticing these patterns, you'll be able to start taking advantage of them. Being able to take advantage of them, like our ancestors do around all rivers, like the Nile River and any other rivers over on the continent, or even over here in North America. We knew when the rivers was going to do what they was going to do. Why? Because we was in tune with the cycles. One of these books, every time we read these proverbs, you're going to start seeing that they're going to start fitting into your life, and they're going to start fitting in situations that's going on around you, because we plugged in. We plugged into something bigger and something greater than us. Well, something just as great as, not greater than all of y'all, because some of y'all just marvelous. My daily toast is out there. Y'all marvelous. So let's go and I'm gonna read it. Let's Shaka, you got something you want to share before I read the folk tale?
Yeah, let's get to this part because I'm gonna talk about it.
All right, here we go. It's real short. The Fox and the Lion. A fox saw a lion confined in a cage, and standing near him bitterly reviled him. The lion said to the fox, it is not thou who revilest me, but this mischance which has befallen me. Wait, hold on. God. Man. Real short, real concise, but a deep, deep message. Let's read it again. A fox saw a lion confined in a cage, bitterly reviled him. The lion said to the fox, it is not thou who revilest me, but this mischance which has befallen me. Fact. Chuck, you want to hit that first or you want me to go, man? Because you got.
No, you know what? It's a connection. I got some of it, but I don't think I got the whole shit.
All right, cool. Let me read it again. Because I got you on the mic for the camera, and that's speak. One time in hot Tim style, please. All right. A fox saw a lion confined in a cage, and standing near him bitterly reviled the lion. He's a punk sitting behind that cage. You know what I'm saying? You just, oh man, what's wrong with you? Just sitting behind that cage, not doing that. So you're not even a real lion. That's reviling him. Just dissing him behind the cage. The lion said to the fox, it is not thou who reviles me, but this mischance which has befallen me. Oh. Class is in session. Shaka, what you gonna do, man? Because I'm about to tear this motherfucker up. What you gonna pass it? You gonna pass it? Is anybody out there? Anybody out there want to call in? Because I'm about to murder this. I'm gonna connect it to our situation here in North America. I'm gonna connect it to our situation all over the world. Somebody else just called in, and I can't. Let me guess. It's because is this Sister Tiandra? Hey, listen, family. Yeah. This is the issue, right? Somebody that has invested in the show, somebody who is family. I kind of know the patterns, right? Because this one was too good for you just to sit there and let it pass by. It's too good. Because for all of us, it's a major lesson in this. Miss Tiandra, you want to go before I tear this up?
I can.
Go ahead.
I got this.
Go ahead, tear it up.
And I appreciate you for your voice, because your voice conveys it. Like, there's a difference when we're sitting and reading it, we're alone. But then when you tell a story, there's an element to it that brings it alive. And I'll be honest too. College degrees like the candy, right? Mm-hmm. But some of those words, I'm like, what are those words? That's why you and I and Brother Tommy got to work on that project that I told you about. Mm-hmm. But so it reminds me of our people in so many different ways. But you can think about it in slavery, in actual slavery 40 years ago. You can think about it in the current incarceration system. You can think about it within our finances, in our neighborhoods, and all of that. And it's like, somebody will be on the outside of the cage, or outside of the prison, or outside of poverty, or outside of struggle, and sitting there thinking that they're cute. And like, oh yeah, that's why you ain't got this, you ain't got that, and that. And, coming at us like that, and we have to realize that they're not our enemy. Like, it's not the person on the outside. They're not even on our level, because in order for them to be were behind the cage, because they be so focused on rocking or feeling down on themselves or whatever. But the guys and goddesses that we realize, like, okay, like you're out there, you got a lot to say, but it's a situation that is befalling me at this moment. Like, and it's not it is permanent. So just wait. Like, that's cute that you're mocking me now, but just wait. You know, that's how I feel.
The lion, because she brought up an excellent point. The fox is not even on the lion's level. So now, check out the lion's response. The lion is not even arguing with him. Homie, it's not you. It's not you that's dissing me. It's not even, you know what I'm saying? I'm not even affected by your distance. It's the fact of my coincidence that these circumstances that I'm in, that that you're able to even get off what you're getting off. Now, I want y'all to think about this. What is a cage? A cage is a box that confines, that people can look in and see. That's all it is. It's a box that confines. Not just in jail, not just when we was in slavery. Now, most of us are sitting behind a cage, and we don't even realize it. At least the lion in this story had the wisdom to know that he was confined. But most of us don't even believe that we are confined. Thinking that we're free, thinking that we're able to do everything that we want. Not even realize that a majority of our wants and a majority of our desires have been given and provided to us. Outside condemning us. The fox is on the outside talking about us. The fox is on the outside thinking that it's because of his foxiness that he's on top. Not realizing that it's the circumstances.
That's right. Can I go ahead and speak to that?
Go ahead, baby.
I went to, I'm going to keep it all the way real and just be honest, because that's the only way I know how to be. I was at Ohio State yesterday for the Martin Luther King Jr. function in Gye-Nyame.
I missed that.
And yeah, it was beautiful, but I'm going to be honest, like, my energy was so, like, somber and irritated and hurt. And that's because that is an institution that individuals don't realize that they're in. So our wants and our desires have been created to be in this world that we've been picked up and plopped into. And so it looks like, oh, that's what life is. That's what living is to have all these accomplishments and to award these students that are doing so great, and to say, this is our all but dissertation individual that is, you know, whatever, giving this introduction and all these degrees and senior education. Something that Nikki Giovanni said, which Lady Nikki Giovanni, Elder Nikki Giovanni, I respect her so much, but she was like, you have to be here to learn. You have to be here to get your education. And it's just like, no, you don't. They will have you think that you need that piece of paper and that degree in order to amount to anything. And don't get me wrong, that piece of paper and that degree can get you further if you know what you're doing with it and if it's necessary. But there are a lot of people in the world, not just in our culture, but even in theirs, that don't go through that process and get stuff done. Parallel to going to the prison, you can feel freedom behind bars, because no longer, it's like, I know that I'm here, but while I'm here, I'm going to get done what I need to get done. I'm going to use this to my benefit. In this isolation, I'm going to study, I'm going to grow, I'm going to get my mind right, my body right. You know, but some people, we're in different types of incarceration, like our jobs, like just these different systems, the healthcare system and stuff, and we don't even realize that we're there.
Don't even
so
realize.
It's like I'm gonna work as hard as I can because I want to operate, and I'm gonna do this, and it's gonna be to my detriment. But yet, until I think that this is what life is.
Yo, can I jump in?
Nah, man, you can't. Hold on.
Please.
Hold on. Miss Shaw said that's true. Hold on. Hold on, Shaq. Say that's true. A lot of times we don't see what's right in our face. Miss Christine say first they were praising white Jesus. That bothered me too. Religion is a confinement of the African spirit. Okay, go ahead. Now go ahead, Shaka. I just want to read the comments.
Now tonight I thought I would try a different angle because I feel like sometimes I'm putting myself through drills so I can learn to focus a little bit more and deliver a little bit better. So go with Hollywood and use Hollywood examples. Hello?
Yeah, that was my fault.
Yeah. Oh, okay, no problem. The thing that you said, you were just speaking of the word I guess I want to use is insolent. Insolent. And there's always that thing when you come out with this fresh degree, you feel that sense of entitlement. You feel that sense I can go into the world and I have a little bit more of an advantage now. But when you go into leadership positions, a lot of times what happens is that you go into the real world, how things are supposed to go, and the speculative understanding of management, and you start to manage those who have more life experience than you do. And they understand how things roll in cycles. And as you come in with this very new and sometimes insolent attitude, it becomes annoying to that individual that you have to work with or that you have to manage. Things moving the way that they are. And so on one level, I feel like that's the vibration that I feel a lot of times when I'm around those who have stepped into that level of accomplishment. But in doing so, they carry a sense of conceited nature.
Now, that's a description of the fox. The fox felt that he was in a better position being able to look at the lion in the cage. And the only reason he was able to do it, and I want you to think about this. How many of our ancestors were the lion in the cage, being put in positions, and you was placed up under somebody who came out with these degrees that was, of a different persuasion than you, and you were held back for because you were confined to a cage. Because really think about it. In a lot of our jobs, we can't be who we really are. You know what I'm saying? We got, like you see, I got the ties. You got to put on the ties, and we got to go in, and we got to maintain a certain decor. But let me just share this, because this morning, one of the things that got me, because my people seem to see themselves now more so than any other time in the history as white folks. So now we're taking on a lot of white folk problems that we really don't need to take on. Let me just go into this a little bit. We got our children coming up, little lions, born in a cage. They don't even know that they're in captivity, and you can't even educate them because one, you're in a cage, and you try to tell them, listen, hey, it's a cage. You know what I'm saying? Let me help you maneuver so that you get out the cage. And they don't even listen. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like they're a fox snickering at you outside the prison because the cage has not clamped down on their ass yet, because they still have a lot of the freedoms. And we have to find a way to reach through that, because a lot of our kids are totally disconnected from our culture. They honestly think that they are young white people and that the world is just a oyster shell waiting for them. And we would love for it to be like that. And a lot of us dream and a lot of us hope like that. But many of us have been out there. We know the truth. Exactly. And if we don't make it happen, these kids are going to run into a nightmare. Because I'm telling you right now, if you have ever been running, and then, matter of fact, I'll give you a story. If you look right here in my mouth, I got a missing tooth. I got that missing tooth because I was playing football. I was running full speed in the parking lot. And one of the dudes trying to be funny threw the football in an angle towards a car. Now I'm so focused on the football, I didn't see the car that was parked right there. And I hit that car. It knocked the whole damn root out my tooth. Knocked it out my mouth. Now, that is the experience that a lot of our young people are going to experience when they run into this cage if we do not smash this cage.
Yeah.
Now, hold on. Before Miss Christine says we have got to teach Africans how to extrapolate the knowledge to build our nation and our village, which we are doing now. Sometimes there's too much value put into that piece of paper instead of placing the value into self and let it show that way. See, because we taught that outside forces need to certify us, when in fact being African is going back to the definition that we teach in Gye-Nyame. What is the self? The absolute, complete, and perfect qualities of a being that are not influenced by external circumstances. Rather than connecting with that bigger and that greater thing that flows inside of us. All right, but Ms. DeAndre was about to say something. Go ahead.
Oh, shoot. Sorry, I was picking it off of you. Yes, I was just saying before you made a very valid point, everybody that wrote something, that we have to realize that with each generation, things change. And so when we go back to our parents' generation and to the generations before that, they did what they needed to do for us to advance to a certain point. But a lot of times, they want to encourage us to do it the way that they wish they would have to have gotten further at that point, if that makes sense. And so a lot of our the adults, we ask questions like, okay, what do you want to go to college for? Or what do you want to be when you grow up? And we ask that to children, and we don't explain, and you don't have to have it all figured out right now. Or it's not about what career you want to go into, but what you enjoy, what were you gifted in, what do you desire to do, how do you desire to serve and contribute to the village? It's those kind of questions that we need to ask, and we have to be intentional about that. Because when we're just shoving down their throat, what do you want to study in college? We have this. We are free marketing for their system, and then getting us away. Now, we definitely need our people to go into medicine, and our people to go into law, and our people to go into government and get these degrees, but they have to have that desire within them to follow that path, because that was the path that they were created for. If we are telling individuals in our village that was created to provide something else, a self-taught healer, to be a self-taught auto mechanic, to be self-taught, and to have those gifts that already they have without being in $400,000 worth of debt or whatever it is, then we can't narrow their view based off of their world, based off of the white man's world, to be honest.
Well, but the thing about it is that I blame it on a generation of distrust. And where does that begin? When we start lying to our kids. We lie about Santa Claus, tooth fairy.
But there's no tooth fairy.
Is that, man, how much he gave you for that tooth? And that was the whole tooth.
Well, hold on. She was busy that weekend. She left me a note.
right. Exactly. This, though, is that if they don't trust in what we say, they're watching us. If you look at what a 20-year-old black man spends money on versus a 30-year-old, black man versus a 40-year-old, it's like when we look up to at the financial behaviors, if you will, of each of these generation gaps, where it's like the 20-year-old, he get his student disbursement, and he's buying clothes. He might invest in the car. But when he look at his coworker, the 30-year-old dude, he got a little bit more to deal with. I got the child support over the kids. You know what I mean? Right. I got these grown man responsibilities that you haven't even considered yet until it's forced on you. And then by 40, I don't even want to go into the whole piece because I'm just now experiencing 40, so I ain't gonna act like I know exactly.
40, brother.
Go ahead.
I experienced 40, brother. You know, I'm about to say goodbye to
you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, see, but now this is the importance of what Tiandra was talking about, the village, the whole nation concept, because one of the things we do, we basically train our children to leave us, to escape, get out, rather than get your skills and bring them back so we can build. See, and this is a detriment to us. See, I was just listening to an NPR show. It's called Marketplace. You can look it up tonight. And it was about a 10-minute segment where they was talking about Black Pittsburgh. How Black Pittsburgh was, where everything flowed through Black Pittsburgh. And it only lasted for about 30 years, but they had established a community where they was able to amass some wealth, and this community disappeared. How did it disappear? Because a lot of the young people that came up in those families that were able to establish and save up something and had a house where the child could come up would go away to college and never come back home. So eventually they lost power and eventually lost their base because we're programming our kids to go give your talents to the other team, rather than really looking at what we got and saying, listen, we need to play for ownership. This means that we might have to carry the bats. You know, ain't nobody going to carry the bat out for you. You might have to carry the bat out for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Nobody might not paint your helmet. You might have to paint the helmet. Hell, you might have to be the coach. The point is, we need to start really investing in us. And the reason, and we teach our kids that we are so valueless that you need to go and be on the other team. I want to save you. I want to get you up and out. And as a matter of fact, we have a whole generation of people that will try in many ways to pull some people down that are doing good. Miss Tiandra just posted up. Wow, she doing double duty. It comes in waves. Think Fence's era. The father wanted his son to stay and work like him without pursuing their gifts. Then we pushed our kids out because we didn't get to pursue our dreams. And so on and so forth. So we got these cycles.
Yeah.
Now we're moving into a cycle. Go ahead, baby. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just refer to the movie Fences.
Right.
With that. And
they do.
Because that's what happens. Like we do stuff out of fear. Right? Okay, I didn't get to go do my dream, so you gotta leave. And I can even be personal with this about my like my own mother. Like my mom's like, oh, I had you early, so I want to make sure that you go and you do X, Y, and Z. And you know, I've gone and done it. And so now I'm closer to home. And she's like, but don't worry about me. I want you to go. And it's like, dang, but I want to be here. I feel like, haven't I gone enough? But she didn't get to do that. So we're asking our children and our generations, because that's not unique to my family. We're asking them to live out our dreams, or out of fear, we don't want to do what our parents did to us. Like I know women who will put their children all the way in front of themselves and forget themselves and not do for themselves because they're doing for their children so much that they lose themselves, right? Because their parents or their mother wasn't there for them. And so when we're doing things out of fear, it breaks down the village for our position to win, for our position in this in this warfare for real.
Hey, now I want to let me add to that. Well, hold on. Miss Deborah Shaw says, I think there has to be a trust display between generations. We must acknowledge what worked in previous generations, and at the same time acknowledge things are changing, and that current or future generations are going to have new creative ways of doing things. And that's a big thing, guys. But also, but that's where this whole rites of passage piece comes in, family. I just need you to understand this whole rites of passage things helps us make transitions, because we're having transition periods, and we're not really understanding that every people must establish borders. Now, what does rites of passage have to do with establishing borders, Hatim? What does this conversation have to do with establishing borders? If the line is in a fence, it's in a fence whether you know it or not. Every line is in a fence, but the beautiful thing about the fence that the lines erect naturally is the fact that they create the borders. Right now, family, our people are in borders that have been created by other people. And we give away our power, and we give away our talent, and we give away our youth. One of the things, like, for example, if we want individuals to be doctors, activate in our community the need for a doctor, and to show these young people, in a sense, develop the trust that when you go get your doctor thing, you're going to be able to come back here and do some business. You know what I'm saying? And that's not, and we can't depend on the neighborhood, because let me stress this to you, family. One of the things, like one of the first things that I'm going to work on, once the book starts selling, and once like this, I want to do this thing called Gye-Nyame Complex. It don't even have to be called Gye-Nyame Complex. I want to get a bunch of us together. One of two things: either buy some land and start building complexes on it. You know what I'm saying? Or go into a city and buy a complex, and we start moving in, and we start determining who can move in. Why? Because you want to establish a border where your children can see you in control, see you in power as a group, and aspire to bring something back. See, in a lot of ways, we're not aspiring our children. My fault. We are aspiring them. We're aspiring them to do something for other people. Go to college, get the paper.
Hey, Hatim.
Go and be in debt forever. Go ahead.
Let me jump in on that right quick, because and you know what? As I'm hearing you talk, theorizing as well, because and I think that this, because I'm gonna just say it, and it hasn't even been all the way formulated in my mind right now. The thing is that, and first of all, understand, for everybody outside of the conversation, I am cultivating a transgenerational artist community within, let's say, for example, an old high school, a historical building that, you know, we transformed into a residential space where it's all garden. We're cultivating, you know, everything that we need to be able to maintain, you know, regular life as independent artists. Retirement communities for the elders. We're talking about transitional living for those coming out of state wardship. Now and let me focus on them for a second, because one major thing that changes in our behavior once we are aware of what we're dealing with is that if my straw man was taken away as soon as I gained my independence, if my straw man was taken away, I would not have been able to ruin my credit because of ignorance. And that's what most college students do, especially Ohio State students. You at a Big Ten university, you're getting every card in your mailbox month, right? And it happens like that because, you at a Big Ten university. They know if you're not going to pay, then your parents are going to pay. They're going to get paid. So they shoot all these cards out. And by the sophomore year, your credit is fried. Done to identify with home ownership or anything like that. You ain't made out of college yet. So my whole piece is this, is that if within those 3 to 4 years that you're in college, as the age to freeze in the activity regarding straw man, but be able to develop it the way that we would have done, but more in a systematic way, where because I'm getting ahead of myself. You already know the mathematics about how to be able to get them in a transitional living in a sustainable space. The state takes care of what the state takes care of, right?
Right.
But beyond the state, they are, just by staying enrolled in school, creating an income that of employment and 6 months of rental history, can get a mortgage as young as 18. 4 of them can combine the mortgages that they would have, and they can start developing about, because then at 21 years old, you have a society of 21 to 25-year-olds that are property owners. So they hold a lot more stake and they have a lot more risk. So now they have to pay attention because they know that the system won't fail them as long as they pay attention and they do the right thing.
I'm going to say this. Family, some of us really need to look at some of the new technology that's out there. Have people, and we probably got people in our circle that know how to do this. They have these houses that they are constructing out of those crates, those steel crates that you ship shit over. When I was in Ghana, I would go by and they would have people that would take those shipping crates. I'm looking over here now and people are using those shipping crates to build homes. And I ain't talking about 1 or 2 bedrooms. I'm talking about them taking the 5 and 6 of those and building livable things that are affordable and that will last 30 years, will last just as long as some of these houses that we are building on. And if taken care of, they will last even longer. You see what I'm saying? And you could build one of those between $6,000 and $30,000. You could build a real nice one for $30,000 to $50,000. All I'm saying is, that's in the old shit. We can start using new ideas, because what we need is we actually need. We need to be able to, and then not only be able to have a community, but people, because you don't have to control the young person's straw man. Has a mentor that has taken them through a rites of passage, that has taken them through a situation where they know they could trust this individual. When a card in the mail, they might mention it to that person, and that person will be like, "Yo, dog, listen, we got bigger plans for you. Don't ruin your credit right now. A house right now. As a matter of fact, we're gonna gift you a house. All y'all got to do is pay rent on this. 15 years, after 5 years together, y'all get to have this, and y'all can decide whether or not y'all want to rent it out or not." Ways that we can approach this. But go ahead.
All right. So here's the thing. I mentioned to you a 3-year, right? Now, the reason why I feel like, when you go into your own fixing your own credit, you understand what it is to be able to expedite highest or the optimal credit score. And so a young person, even when they understand it, that they have one credit card, that they're not abusing, but not maintaining just the numbers in terms of what their score could be just based on that number. They should be doing during those 3 years. I'm just thinking in an optimized society of nation builders is that we can put them so that they can build more towards the organic survival, moving away from the distraction altogether. Because that's the piece that really made me start seeing things in a totally different light. Is when, it's one thing to turn the TV and the radio off and not listen to none of that noise, but it's another thing to turn off the devices altogether. And I understand that they should turn off devices for also years. I'm just saying that within that time, the optimal training, I think that is the time that it should happen.
And now, those are the college years. And what we do is we show other people because we believe that other people can do better for us. When we have to start having faith in ourselves and be able to create those situations. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of that is a lack of confidence of people, of us looking at our cage and not plotting on how to get out. And listening to the fox. And I realize that this fox is not greater than us because he's outside the cage making fun of us. The fox always makes fun of you outside your cage. Never will he step inside that motherfucker and start talking crazy. You know what I'm saying? Now,
right,
this is the piece. You know what I'm saying? So we got to figure out a way and then start motivating and inspiring our young people to escape when they see us doing, right? They will come. You know why? Because young people love, I keep saying this, young people love adventures, love challenges. Young people want to be in something that they can be able to tell a story about, because really, when you think back to your childhood, that's what it was about. Whether you was telling stories about the movie you watched, or the football game you played in, or the basketball game you played in, or the girl or the boy that you was kicking with, you love telling stories. We need to create situations where young people can come to us and have stories to tell. I'm just saying, family, we have to be able to do that now. We might not need to start. You know what I'm saying? We can't start with apartment complex.
Control your own story.
Control your own story. And being older as we are, we can help them shape the story in a safe enough environment where majority of them will survive. I'm gonna be honest, all of them ain't gonna survive. But we could create an environment where more of them will survive. You know what I'm saying? Because another piece is we gotta get rid of this whole thing where we all belong. Sorry. Please close the door behind you. You know what I'm saying? For some reason, we don't have a heart to do that, because, and I know that sounds hard, family, but we have to be able to establish our borders and protect the borders. If you want to actually take your people or take what you're doing to the next level, just listen to David Banner. And the Instagram stream is about to go off. He wrote a poem where he said that when he got so busy pursuing his dreams, he looked up and he noticed that he left everything else behind him. Family, if we want to be free, if we want to build, that's the attitude we got to have. I'm in this full speed ahead. I'm in this because I have no other choice. I'm in this run because I have to be able to establish something for my children, my nieces, and my nephews. And I got another 500 to 600 young people that I feel that I am responsible for all over this country. To at least give them a glimmer of real hope, not just pie in the sky, But some shit where they could come and they could touch it and they could feel it and they could see the work being done and they could feel that if they strive, they can become part of it or they could go out and duplicate. To an hour, I'm gonna give Ms. Tiandra and Mr. Shaka a second to go on and do their last statements, and then I'm gonna close it out. So who going first?
Ms. Tiandra. Of course, the lady.
Oh, she hung up.
She hung up.
Yeah, it's on you.
Oh, yeah. Man, you know, ever since the beginning of this conversation, once I truly understood what you were saying in the Folktales, it reminded me of the movie Crash. You know, when the Dirty Cop, played by Matt Dillon, and his partner went to the chief and was like, "Hey, can you reassign me? I don't want to do this." And he met him out in the parking lot. And, you know, you think you know, but you don't. In the movie, you see the things go full circle. That's why I love that movie Crash, just because bring viewpoint. You saw the devil's advocate.
Right.
Right. When you find him at the end, and homeboy was calling him a racist, and then his instinct towards the end, when he shot the black kid, it let him know something about himself that he didn't even know. That he had more fear in this boy who had no intention, no ill intention towards him. Color of his skin. Nothing more. And so when it comes to that in us, you know, and I'm old enough to see it when it's like you got somebody that's somebody with that attitude, like they're about to conquer life. And you want to tell the brother, just say, hey, you know, do your best. That's all you can tell him. But you know that he's going to get knocked down someday. Now, make sure that when they get up, they bring it all up with them. But they're bringing the whole self with them. Okay.
What stations do is they make their young people can fall down and get up. Unfortunately, we haven't created a space where our young people can fall down in an endeavor and get back up. You know what I'm saying? And that is what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about, being able to give young people a place where they can experiment safely and fail and try again and fail and try again. But we, in the business world, we get one time. We get one major mistake and we're done. Even right now, at almost 50 years old, I got one time to majorly fuck up. You look at the great punk. How many times did he majorly fuck up in his life? He get to become president. So we got to be honest. We haven't created a stage where young people can make mistakes and still survive. And that's what, for us, that's in our 30s, 40s, and 50s, and 60s, that's what we need to create. We need to create the environment where they can fail and understand that it's okay. Yeah, you're going to get checked a little bit. Yeah, you're going to get talked about a little bit because that's how we do. That's how everybody do. But you got another opportunity. Your failure in life does not define who you are. And we need to be able to have that place where they can do that. And I think that's kind of what we're talking about developing. But family, I want to thank everybody for tuning in, taking the time to listen. I want to let you know you are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. Folktales for Grown Folks, also known as hashtag FFGF. And it's a Heart of Summer production. Where we strive to blow up your old paradigms. All those economics, mark your calendar. Chuck, you might want to come down here and perform on May 19th. We will be having a Malcolm X Festival at 3500 Refugee Road. It will be going down. Make sure you like and share the show so that we can build up this family. I'm not playing y'all because it's moved. Listen, I already know how do you build a pyramid, one block at a time. One block at a time. And that's what we do here on Gye-Nyame Journey. Shout out to Brother Shaka for joining the conversation. Shout out to Sister Tiandra. Shout out to Deborah Shaw. Shout out to the other sleeping one, Brother Nubis. And thanks for posting stuff up. Oh, also, Brother Nubis. I'm glad you can join in. RG Shine. Thank you for joining. We do this every Coochie Chocolate. Now, only those in the family know what I'm talking about. Every Coochie Chocolate at 9 p.m. I will see y'all tomorrow for the Daily Toast. Those of you that are on the list, you will receive a text if you put hashtag G&J on, right? So let me go and get it out. For all those that want to join the Toast in the morning and you need a wake-up call, or you just want to know what I'm going on because you might be up. 300-1875. Type in hashtag G&J, and I will put you on the list, and you will receive a text every time before my show goes on. Well, almost every time. Well, for most of y'all, it's every time. Brother Nubis knows that it's not every time because Brother Nubis be on the show waiting for me when I get here. So he knows that I have to send the text sometime after the show starts. But my intentions are good. All right, family, I'm out. Y'all have a great night, and I will see you on Ujima Morning. Remember, take a look at that blood moon tomorrow. Take a look at that moon. This is going to be a once in a lifetime, maybe a once in 2 lifetimes event. So check out the moon. Enjoy its beauty. All right, and I am out. Peace, family. All right, Chuck, I'll see you later, my friend. Peace. I am out. Thank you for those that's tuning in, whether it's now or later. All right, peace out.